Hey, MMK, we're back. Today we're going to talk about a few things and answer a couple questions that come in. One of the questions come in, and it's been asked a lot of times, but it, we're going to go ahead and I am going to try to answer it with my my point of view on it and how I feel about it. The question is do you think, and it's kind of a multi thing of questions. I've heard, do you think if Elvis's mother would have lived, things would have turned out, and Elvis would have lived, if he'd maybe done this or done that? My personal opinion, and this just from the way I see it and what I grew up, is I could never picture an old Elvis. It just, I mean, I've looked back at it and looked back at it, and maybe you can, but I couldn't. I don't. Elvis Presley was Elvis Presley. He loved his life. He loved being Elvis Presley. He did what he wanted to do. So I mean, who's to say? If things would have happened, we can always look back and say, hey, what if this or what if that? But in my opinion, I don't know that anything would have changed the way that it turned out. And I hurts like hell that it turned out that way. But I mean, look at it now. So it was almost like it was meant to be. So we're gonna leave that alone there and go to the next question. The next question is do you think Elvis was happy with life or miserable in life? My answer to that is Elvis, what we all tend to, myself included, my family, all of us, is we tend to look at Elvis as Elvis Presley and not the man. Elvis was human, and I think we all kind of overlooked that at times, but I think he was happy. I think he had one hell of a life, but I think he had the problems and the troubles that we all have because he was human. Did he feel pain? Sure he did. Did he hurt? Sure he did. But I think all in all, just my opinion, if he had to go back and do it all over again, I think he would probably do it the same way. Elvis Presley was just Elvis Presley, and everybody's always like, well, why didn't so and so do this, or why didn't so and so do that? And I know it's all been said, and every one of the guys has said it, but I'm going to say it again. You didn't tell Elvis Presley what to do. Okay, he was a grown man. He was his own man, and he was going to do his life like he wanted to do it. But we all, like I said, we all have our opinions out there. That's another thing that leads me into kind of another question we're going to go into. People, I've heard very, very little negative about some of the things on the videos or this and that of why we do it. Still hanging on, clinging to Elvis, this, that. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. That's fine. It doesn't really bother me. That's just a bunch of shit, really. The whole thing of the matter is why I really started doing this video and got mom and dad and then got it with everybody else. To me, it's just a great part of history, and the reflections I've been getting back from y'all has been wonderful and great. And I mean, when I first started, I said, no, nobody really wants to hear, anything I've got to say or anybody else really. I just didn't realize that it is that side, and how it's just what it's grown into. I really didn't, and it just amazes me with the young folks and stuff. But back to what I was saying, I'm doing this for history, for mainly for y'all, for my kids and my grandkids, my great grandkids. One day when we're all not here, the younger generation, and we keep Elvis Presley's name going because that was a life, hey, like I said, I was blessed to be with, love it, and would take nothing for it. I got a couple things I do want to say. Another, Vicky, a friend of ours, made this and sent it to me, and I think it's one of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen. I hope you get a good shot of it, Teresa.
That's beautiful.
It really means a lot, Vicki. I think it's beautiful. It's going up in my man / Elvis cave. But thank you so much for this. Another thing I want to talk about is we've been asked over and over. Yes, we're going to be in Memphis during August. I want to say, I believe it's the 12th through the 17th with John Daly, his festival there at the Holiday Inn on Elvis Presley Boulevard. And we're looking forward to seeing each and every one of you come by and say hello. And hopefully we'll get to talk and have some good times. I've got some more interviews coming up with some other folks. You just have to wait and see. And a lot more videos, and we're going to get this thing rolling. So, but hey, I appreciate you watching. If you hadn't subscribed, subscribe, and remember, what do we always say? We always live Elvis.